Yeah, you know what? I was a daddy's girl, for sure. From what I understand, I'm a lot like him. Just such a fun-loving guy. I mean, I would have loved to have known him as an adult. He died when I was 13, really unexpectedly. It seems like that was the shift for me. You know, before that, I really felt like I had my head on straight. You know, I wasn't gonna drink before. I wasn't gonna drink underage. I wasn't gonna have premarital sex. I was going to be the girl that I was raised to be. And then when you fall short, I think that whole image just kind of crumbles, and you're wondering where did I go wrong? You know, my very first relationship, my very first time. Within just a few weeks, I found out that I was pregnant, and I was only 16 years old. I mean, the only thing that I kept thinking about is what will people think of me? I wanted to go to college, and I had all these dreams, and I didn't want to miss the next party, if we're being honest. What I wanted to do was fix the problem. When I found out I was pregnant, I mean, I couldn't even consider anything else. I went straight to a Planned Parenthood, and they gave me an abortion pamphlet and said, here's what you can do. I knew that God did not want that for me. But I also felt a little bit like it was still my choice, because I remember thinking, if it's legal, it can't be that wrong. Even though in my gut, I knew something wasn't right with God, like that I would and I remember, unfortunately, I even remember saying out loud that I would deal with that with God later, but this is what had to happen right now. I know some people deal with things differently, but in my case, it happened, I shut it out, and I moved on with my life. I didn't mourn, I didn't spend time grieving. So I finished high school, went on to college. The same plan that I had in place. What's really interesting about this scenario and how it played out, though, is I have a good friend now who, she was just a couple years younger than me, but her life ended up mirroring mine in that she got pregnant at 16, had a baby in high school. So basically her life was lived out opposite of what I chose. Like, I chose abortion, she chose life. And what I saw play out in her life was a complete redemption story that it was so inspiring to me, because I watched her go through high school and still do all the amazing things you get to do in high school and experience all the awesome high school things. We both went to Ohio University. So I went to college with her, and she was there with her baby and lived in a house and took care of her baby and went to college. But at the time she chose life, she chose to recommit herself to Christ. And she became this walking example of what it looked like. It was about like my late 20s when I was kind of over living this lifestyle, you know, and that is when I met my husband. And I remember the first thing I remember thinking about him, he's different, he's a good guy, you know, like he's this really great guy. So this is the crazy thing. I was going through the volunteer training at the Miami Valley Women's Center, and I was learning all these things about what abortion was, and I was going through the healing process of what it meant to come through the other side of that trauma. I had never faced my abortion, literally ran from it my whole entire life. At the exact same time of that training is when Rob and I were in the process of trying to have our first child. And though I was so wrecked. I mean, I could not believe what I had done. You know, I mean, the realization of what I had done for the first time in like my whole young adult life, it finally sunk in. And I was so broken, and I didn't feel worthy. Like, I just begged for God to forgive me, because I wanted a baby so bad. I wanted to have a child, and I was married, but I just didn't feel worthy. The end of your abortion recovery Bible session, you actually get to create a plaque for your child. And so they have a garden that you have out back where all of the plaques are, and you have your baby's name on it, and it's closure that I never had before, that I didn't know I needed. What the enemy meant for evil, what he was trying to do to harm me and to take me out, God is going to use it for good. And that's the exciting thing. That's what I'm excited about, because I know that my story is meant to be heard, because I don't want one single person to have to go through what I went through. I believe that God spent the last few years preparing me for right now. From that, I decided to go ahead and move forward with starting a community group. I want to give people the opportunity to find the freedom and the forgiveness that I found. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to partner with the Women's Center to put together this abortion recovery ministry that is walking people through the steps of healing and forgiveness. I feel like because of everything that I've gone through, I appreciate what I have so much more. I mean, I appreciate every single day with my kids. Like, I've got these 2 sweet boys now. I've got 2 little boys that are like the biggest blessing in my whole entire life. And I am so blessed that I found this husband who's this godly man. I am forgiven, and I am redeemed, and I am a child of the Most High God.